horrible end. That's how the headlines remembered him. But what really happened to Chet Lemon? A World Series hero, a quiet rebel, and a man who never backed down from what he believed. What they never told you is how much pain he endured just to stay alive, and what he refused to sacrifice to do it. On May 8, 2025, Chester Earl Lemon died at his home in Apopka, Florida. He was 70 years old. The official cause was complications from polycythemia vera, a rare blood cancer he'd been fighting for over 3 decades. But that simple explanation doesn't capture the incredible journey of a man who transformed himself from a struggling infielder into one of baseball's greatest center fielders. Chet's story began in Jackson, Mississippi, where he was born on February 12, 1955. When he was just 6 months old, his family moved to Los Angeles, where he grew up excelling in both football and baseball at John C. Fremont High School. College football coaches wanted him badly, offering multiple scholarships. But when the Oakland Athletics selected him 22nd overall in the 1972 draft, he signed immediately, choosing baseball over everything else. His early professional years were rough. Playing third base in the minors, Chet struggled defensively, making 33 errors in 1973 and 19 more in 1975. These mistakes led to a trade that would change his life. On June 15, 1975, Oakland sent him to the Chicago White Sox. After a brief stint at third base, the White Sox moved him to center field in 1976, and suddenly, the player who couldn't field ground balls became a defensive wizard. The transformation was spectacular. In his first season as a center fielder, Chet posted a .992 fielding percentage with only 3 errors, but 1977 was when he truly announced himself to the baseball world. That season, he set an American League record with 512 outfield putouts, a mark that still stands today. The feat earned him the nickname Chet the Jet, and suddenly everyone knew who he was. His offensive game developed alongside his defense. In 1977, he scored a career-high 99 runs and more than doubled his home run total from his rookie season. By 1979, he was hitting .318 with a league-leading 44 doubles, earning his first 2 All-Star selections in 1978 and 1979. But it was during his minor league years that Chet made another life-changing decision. At age 19, influenced by his teammate Jerry Hairston Sr., he converted to become a Jehovah's Witness. This wasn't a casual choice. For Chet, his faith became the foundation of everything he did, including decisions that would later bring him criticism he didn't deserve. One of the most visible expressions of his faith was his refusal to stand for the national anthem before games. Along with his future Detroit Tigers teammate Lou Whitaker, Chet remained seated during the Star-Spangled Banner throughout his career. The decision drew public attention and harsh criticism, but Chet explained his position with remarkable clarity. In a 1987 interview, he said, "I believe in God's kingdom. I acknowledge God's kingdom over earth. I give my allegiance to him and not to the flag. I am grateful to be in the United States, but the national anthem is a ritual. You have to think about what's being said. Rockets' red glare, bombs bursting in air. We do not believe in, nor do we salute war." This wasn't disrespect for America. It was a conscientious objection based on religious principles. The irony was striking. Chet faced criticism for exercising the very religious freedom that the flag and anthem were supposed to represent. On November 27, 1981, Chet was traded to the Detroit Tigers for outfielder Steve Kemp. Initially, the move presented challenges. In 1982, he was shifted to right field, a change that affected him mentally. He later admitted, "Playing right field wasn't real difficult. I didn't want to play it. That was my problem. It affected me so much mentally. I wasn't happy." But the Tigers showed confidence in him, signing him to a substantial 5-year contract in November 1982. When he returned to center field in 1983, Chet was back to his dominant form. He committed only 3 errors in 417 chances and hit a career-high 24 home runs. Manager Sparky Anderson called him the best defensive center fielder I've been around. The 1984 season was the pinnacle of Chet's career. As the starting center fielder for the Detroit Tigers, he played a crucial role in their World Series championship. He hit .294 in the World Series and made a signature game-saving leaping catch against Rod Carew in Game 3, a play that remains legendary in Tigers history. Throughout his 16-season career, Chet accumulated impressive numbers: a .273 batting average, 1,875 hits, 215 home runs, and 884 RBIs. His career WAR of 55.7 significantly outranked his draft class peers, demonstrating his sustained excellence over nearly 2 decades. However, 1990 brought the challenge that would define the rest of Chet's life. At just 36 years old, he was diagnosed with polycythemia vera, a rare blood cancer where the bone marrow produces too many red blood cells, causing the blood to thicken dangerously. The condition effectively ended his playing career. Released by the Tigers in spring 1991, Chet was immediately hospitalized and placed on blood thinners to combat internal clotting. The disease nearly killed him immediately. He lost 60 to 70 pounds, dropping to just 130 pounds, and was bedridden for weeks. The situation was so dire that ESPN reportedly prepared his eulogy. Polycythemia. Vera is a relentless disease. Symptoms include fatigue, headaches, dizziness, and severe itching. As it progresses, patients can develop an enlarged spleen and severe burning pain in hands and feet. The primary danger is increased blood viscosity, which significantly raises the risk of blood clots and strokes. Over the decades following his diagnosis, Chet suffered multiple blood clots and at least 13 strokes, resulting in hundreds of hospital trips. These events progressively impaired his mobility and speech. By 2024, he was unable to walk or speak clearly, confined to a wheelchair. In 1999, his condition was complicated by an enlarged spleen that weighed almost 15 times more than normal. The spleen required surgical removal in November 2001 at the Mayo Clinic. But here's where Chet's faith became a matter of life and death. Jehovah's Witnesses refuse blood transfusions based on biblical commands. Despite the enormous risks of major surgery without transfusions, Chet's conviction never wavered. He gave explicit instructions to doctors not to perform any blood transfusions. "I was very afraid, but if I was going to survive, I had to put my trust in my faith," he said. This decision, made while facing potentially fatal circumstances, showed that his faith was a powerful, guiding principle that gave him extraordinary strength. Following his retirement, Chet channeled his passion into coaching and youth development. In 1993, he established the Chet Lemon School of Baseball in Lake Mary, Florida, and founded the successful Chet Lemon's Juice travel baseball program. His coaching efforts were remarkably successful. He led Eustis High School to a state championship in 2003 and guided AAU teams that produced numerous college and professional players, including future MLB stars Zach Greinke and Prince Fielder. Even as his health declined, Chet's commitment to helping others never stopped. He founded the Chet Lemon Foundation, dedicated to empowering young athletes through scholarships while championing stroke and aphasia awareness. In August 2024, despite being unable to walk or speak clearly, Chet made a poignant final public appearance at Comerica Park for the 40th anniversary celebration of the Tigers' 1984 World Series championship team. Appearing in a wheelchair, he reconnected with former teammates and was honored by fans who had never forgotten him. When Chet died on May 8, 2025, tributes poured in from across the baseball world. Former teammates like Lance Parrish, Dan Petrie, and Alan Trammell remembered him not only for his incredible defensive skills, but for his friendliness, infectious smile, and competitive spirit. The Detroit Tigers' official statement captured the essence of who Chet really was. While he was a World Series champion and all-star on the field, perhaps his biggest impact came off of it. This wasn't just polite language. It was the truth about a man whose influence extended far beyond statistics. Chet Lemon's life was a testament to the power of conviction, adaptability, and resilience. He transformed himself from a struggling infielder into an elite center fielder. He stood by his principles even when they brought criticism. He battled a devastating disease for over 3 decades while continuing to mentor young people and support his community. They called his ending horrible, but they missed the point entirely. Chet Lemon didn't just endure, he inspired. He showed that greatness isn't just about what you accomplish, but how you face adversity and how you treat others along the way. Chet Lemon never gave up, not when he changed positions, not when he lost his strength, not even when he could barely speak. He stayed loyal to his beliefs, loyal to his teams, and loyal to the game. If that's not greatness, what is?